Crito by Plato. Persons of the dialogue: Socrates, Crito. Scene: the prison of Socrates. But oh, my dear Socrates, let me entreat you once more to take my advice and escape. For if you die, I shall not only lose a friend who can never be replaced, but there is another evil. People who do not know you and me will believe that I might have saved you if I had been willing to give money, but that I did not care. Now, can there be a worse disgrace than this, that I should be thought to value money more than the life of a friend? For the many will not be persuaded that I wanted you to escape, and that you refused. But why, my dear Crito, should we care about the opinion of the many? Good men, and they are the only persons who are worth considering, will think of these things truly as they occurred. But you see, Socrates, that the opinion of the many must be regarded, for what is now happening shows that they can do the greatest evil to any one who has lost their good opinion. I only wish it were so, Crito, and that the many could be the greatest evil. For then they would also be able to do the greatest good, and what a fine thing this would be! But in reality they can do neither, for they cannot make a man either wise or foolish, and whatever they do is the result of chance. Dear Crito, your zeal is invaluable, if a right one. But if wrong, the greater the zeal, the greater the danger. And therefore we ought to consider whether I shall or shall not do as you say. For I am, and always have been, one of those natures who must be guided by reason, whatever the reason may be which, upon reflection, appears to me to be the best. And now that this chance has befallen me, I cannot repudiate my own words. The principles which I have hitherto honored and revered I still honor, and unless we can at once find other and better principles, I am certain not to agree with you. No, not even if the power of the multitude could inflict many more imprisonments, confiscations, deaths, frightening us like children with hobgoblin terrors. What will be the fairest way of considering the question? Shall I return to your old argument about the opinions of men? We were saying that some of them are to be regarded, and others not. Now, were we right in maintaining this before I was condemned? And has the argument which was once good now proved to be talk for the sake of talking, mere childish nonsense? That is what I want to consider with your help, Crito. Whether, under my present circumstances, the argument appears to be in any way different or not, and is to be allowed by me or disallowed. That argument which, as I believe, is maintained by many persons of authority, was to the effect, as I was saying, that the opinions of some men are to be regarded, and of other men not to be regarded. Now you, Crito, are not going to die tomorrow. At least, there is no human probability of this, and therefore you are disinterested and not liable to be deceived by the circumstances in which you are placed. Tell me, then, whether I am right in saying that some opinions, and the opinions of some men only, are to be valued, and that other opinions, and the opinions of other men, are not to be valued. I ask you whether I was right in maintaining this. Certainly. The good are to be regarded, and not the bad? Yes. And the opinions of the wise are good, and the opinions of the unwise are evil? Certainly. And what was said about another matter? Is the pupil who devotes himself to the practice of gymnastics supposed to attend to the praise and blame and opinion of every man, or of one man only, his physician or trainer, whoever he may be? Of one man only, and he ought to fear the censure and welcome the praise of that one only, and not of the many. Clearly so. And he ought to act and train and eat and drink in the way which seems good to his single master, who has understanding, rather than according to the opinion of all other men put together. True. And if he disobeys and disregards the opinion and approval of the one, and regards the opinion of the many who have no understanding, will he not suffer evil? Certainly he will. And what will the evil be, whither tending, and what affecting in the disobedient person? Well, clearly affecting the body. That is what is destroyed by the evil. Very good. And is not this true, Crito, of other things, which we need not separately enumerate? In questions of just and unjust, fair and foul, good and evil, which are the subjects of our present consultation, ought we to follow the opinion of the many and to fear them, or the opinion of the one man who has understanding? Ought we not to fear and reverence him more than all the rest of the world? And if we desert him, shall we not destroy and injure that principle in us which may be assumed to be improved by justice and deteriorated by injustice? There is such a principle. Certainly there is, Socrates. Take a parallel instance. If, acting under the advice of those who have no understanding, we destroy that which is improved by health and is deteriorated by disease, would life be worth having? And that which has been destroyed is the body? Yes. Could we live, having an evil and corrupted body? Certainly not. And will life be worth having, if that higher part of man be destroyed, which is improved by justice and depraved by injustice? Do we suppose that principle, whatever it may be in man, which has to do with justice and injustice, to be inferior to the body? Certainly not. More honorable than the body? Far more. Then, my friend, we must not regard what the many say of us, but what he, the one man who has understanding of just and unjust, will say, and what the truth will say. And therefore you begin in error when you advise that we should regard the opinion of the many about just and unjust, good and evil, honorable and dishonorable. Well, some one will say, but the many can kill us. Yes, Socrates, that will clearly be the answer.